There aren't many things that unite Democrats and Republicans, but there is one thing many of them don't like: Section 230. It's a law from the 90s that made the internet fertile ground for speech, creativity, and innovation. Section 230 does two main things. First, it protects web platforms from being sued for most content their users post. And second, it reinforces platforms' First Amendment right to moderate content as they see fit. That's why if I slander you in this video, you can sue me, but not YouTube. Section 230 is vital to free speech on the internet. Even relatively small platforms host massive amounts of user content. They can't carefully review all of it. Without Section 230, many platforms would ramp up their content moderation just to avoid being sued. Others might stop hosting user content altogether. The legal risk would be too high. Yet politicians and critics on both sides of the aisle want to amend or eliminate Section 230 entirely. They offer many reasons, but none hold up. Let's talk about three of the big ones. Misconception number one: Section 230 gives platforms a pass for hosting hate speech and misinformation. Actually, no. The First Amendment does. There is no hate speech or misinformation exception to the First Amendment. And that makes sense because these terms are vague and subjective. Governments with hate speech or misinformation laws inevitably abuse them to target their critics. So even if Section 230 were overturned, the First Amendment would continue to protect platforms for hosting content some find hateful or inaccurate. The only difference is platforms would have to spend more time and money defending frivolous lawsuits over protected speech. Crucially, Section 230 enables courts to dismiss these lawsuits quickly. Misconception number two: Section 230 was necessary to get the internet off the ground, but it's no longer needed. Section 230 is more important than ever with the explosive growth in user-generated content. In the 90s, it was impractical for many platforms to review and moderate all user content. Now it's truly impossible. Social media platforms serve billions of users today. Hundreds of millions of tweets go up on Twitter in a single day. More than 500 hours of video is uploaded to YouTube every minute. Making platforms responsible for user content would only incentivize them to take down anything potentially controversial. No platform wants to throw millions of dollars at lawyers. The bottom line is, without Section 230, we'd have fewer online platforms where people can gather to speak and associate freely. Misconception number three: Section 230 is just a big handout to big tech. Critics argue Section 230 simply benefits powerful social media companies like Twitter and Facebook that moderate user content in unfair and arbitrary ways. But abolishing Section 230 would hurt the little guy the most: the startups and the smaller websites that may one day challenge Facebook or Twitter for online supremacy. The major platforms would likely weather the storm. They have the money and the resources to invest heavily in content moderation and to defend themselves in court. Many other websites don't. That means without Section 230, big tech would have less competition. No wonder Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg supports reforming the law. So there you have it. If you love the internet for all the ways it allows people to have fun and express themselves, you'll want Section 230 to survive these attacks unscathed.